So this man is 60, has kids the same age as his girlfriend, and still cannot answer a simple question. Meanwhile, Vanessa's a little mad or maybe big mad that she's not getting on that pony. She said she's been friend zoned and she's not happy with that at all. This is a mess. Let's talk about it.
Kay Unscripted, no teeth restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Kay Unscripted. I am your girl Kay, and today we're breaking down Age of Attraction Season 1, Episode 4. And listen y'all, the couples have officially moved in together, and now some of the real issues that exist are starting to show. Now before we get into all the drama, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this recap with a friend who watches the show. Alright, let's get into it. So we left off with the 6 couples at the mixer. Natalie Joy and Nick Vile joined the couples, congratulate them for making it this far into the experiment, and then let them know that things are about to go up a notch. So they also let the couples know that they will be moving in together. Then each couple gets to reveal their ages to the group. Now once that was done, all the couples said Jorge and Vanelle won. And I said, not they won. Yes, they won. We also find out that there's going to be some sort of commitment ceremony. And Libby wasted no time letting us know that she is definitely afraid of commitment ceremonies. She's afraid of commitment because she's young, right? And at this point, I think they all might be. But she's the only one who's honest enough to say it. And to be honest, they're all just here to have fun. Let's be so for real. That's what they're there for, okay? So then they move into their apartments, and I said, wait a minute. They're definitely not on Love is Blind's budget, because these apartments were very small. Or in Libby's term, wow, they're very cozy. Even Andrew said his suitcase was bigger than the bed. Anyways, they're settling in and deciding that he can sleep into the bed with her. Duh, like you would have done anything differently. Then we're at the apartment with Jorge and Vanelle. They're in the balcony. They're having a drink. He's like, well, we need to talk. So not only is Vanelle Jorge's baby, she's also the baby in her family, the youngest out of 5. She shares, I'm sorry, I said, she's Jorge's baby because she is. She shares that her brother may not care too much as long as he's treating her good, but her sister, her middle sister, will definitely be catching an issue with that. But once he's treating her right, the family will get along with the program. And I highly doubt that, because we know what her daddy said, and he's not going to be happy with that decision at all. Now, he also said that his family is pretty much like, if you like her, I love her, that type of thing. Now, this low-down, trifling, lying piece of shit casually lets her know that he has kids, and then he had the nerve to say, oh, does that bother you? What's going on? I can see your face. What's going on? So she tells him that they had a moment in the promise room, and he never mentioned that he had kids, and that would have been the right time to bring it up because they were laying everything out on the table. He said he didn't think that was the right time to let her know that, because for him, the most important thing on that day was finding out their age. Then she says, but you felt like I should have told you about my celibacy earlier. So it's kind of the same things with having kids. You should have done the same thing and let me know that you have kids. But his rebuttal was, oh, I'm not afraid to talk about anything. And then he proceeds to drop some more bombs and lets her know that his daughter and Vanille are the same age. His son is 23, and it's definitely going to be a problem with his daughter because she's very protective of him. Hey. Interesting. Now she's going to feel like she has to stay in this relationship because she probably feels like she's in too deep. Now remember, this man is an attorney, so he's going to play around with these questions that she's asking him, and he's going to say whatever he feels like she wants to hear. This is what we've seen happening so far. Now she's asking if he would want more kids, and he's saying the only reason to not want any more is if he's not in a serious relationship. So she's like, so you do want more? He said, well, if you say you don't want, then yeah, that's fine with me. And I'm just like, oh, hey, can you please answer the damn question? Stop trying to work around it. Stop trying to come up with the best answer you think. It's definitely giving Alex from last season of Love is Blind. What is going on? Are you and Alex related? It's kind of giving the same thing. Just answer the question. We then move on to Pfeiffer and Derek. In their apartment, they're watching pictures of him and his children. He talks about fatherhood and having to balance off his career, relationships, and him being a father, and how you could never be fully prepared for parenthood because each child is different. So balancing all of those things means you're probably going to suck some days, but you shouldn't suck at everything. Now, that for me was a different perspective. So I really liked the way he explained that to Pfeiffer. Now we get to Leah and Chris. She's letting that man know that she didn't appreciate finding out some information about him from other people. Chris said he thought about telling her, but he didn't think at the time it would have been a good decision. He's lying. He knows, we know he's lying. He knows he's lying. Leah knows he's lying. He thought that information would have never come out. That's why he moved the way he did. Okay? Now, Leah feels like being blindsided with that information really hurt her, and she's not about to waste her time on someone who's immature. And I'm like, now, girl, you know, by choosing a man who is so much younger than you, that's what you get, right? I mean, you signed up, you literally signed up for this. So, I don't get it. Anyways, we move on to Vanessa and Logan. They're chilling in the pool. She's saying, what if we do work out? What is it going to look like in the long term, in the long run? How is that going to play out for us? He says that for him, long distance would be very difficult, but she is more concerned about him being with other girls and disrespecting their relationship. Now, this tells me that there is some kind of trust issues existing here with Vanessa. And it's never a wise thing to start a new relationship with trust issues. It's just not going to work. Furthermore, she's asking him what his friends might think and if they would make fun of him for being with an older woman. He said maybe, and that smile she had on her face, it quickly turned to a frown. But guess what she said? She said, well, how much Botox do I need to get? Should I get lip fillers? Do you like girls who do that sort of thing? Girl, what is your problem? At this point, you're so annoying, and you're about to annoy me a whole lot because clearly there's some insecurity showing, and I'm just like, get your shit together. Stop projecting that on that man, okay? That's what y'all get for wanting to date younger guys, okay? Now, all of the couples are kind of settling in and heading to bed, and baby, all these couples were hunching and grinding, okay? Now we get to the next day, everyone's doing little things together, making breakfast, working out, etc. So we're at Vanelle and Jorge's apartment. He's talking about his parents and how his mom never disrespected his father. He said his dad wasn't really around. And at 6 years, this man still has daddy issues because he hasn't made it right with his dad. That is concerning to me. Now we move on to Teresa and John. They're having tea together in the outdoors. It's looking really nice. I'm loving the environment and stuff. She's really concerned about how people will view them, if people will think that he is her son, because they went to the gym together and she felt like everyone was watching them. But he is saying that he doesn't care. But she's questioning things because of the huge age gap they have and because he's so close in age to her son. So that's definitely going to be interesting when we get to see how the children feel about this situation. Now Vanelle and Jorge are at the gym. He's saying in his confessional that he has questions about Vanelle's celibacy because that's not his lifestyle. He is trying to bump and grind. Okay, now I know for sure that would have become an issue for him because he definitely wants some. Okay, So they talk about how easy it was sharing a bed together, and then he brings up her celibacy. And by the way, they were talking about cuddles. It's giving they did more than cuddle, because we heard you moaning, Vanille. Okay, so did you break your celibacy for some pain? We need to know, because what is happening? Anyways, Vanessa and Teresa meet up to catch up, right? Because clearly Vanessa needs to talk. So they talk about how they spent the first night together with the significant other. And we know very well that y'all are not getting any sleep, okay? At least some of y'all. Not Vanessa, but the rest of y'all, we know for sure that y'all were not getting any sleep because y'all were too busy giving up the pum pum. And by the way, Teresa couldn't stop laughing. We know she definitely gave up some pum pum, okay? She definitely had fake Prince Harry loving on that pum pum, okay? Now, I was not surprised when Vanessa shared that she feels like she and Logan are on opposite sides. There's nothing further than holding hands and kissing happening between them. Now, she definitely wants some action, but he doesn't, okay? She said that it's giving her friend zone and it's pretty much PG-13. And I said, oh. Poor thing. She wants her cheeks clapped, but it's not happening. Teresa, on the other hand, is like, oh, that's not me. That's not happening to me. Teresa asks her if she thinks Logan's holding back or that he wants something more from her. She said she doesn't know if it's an age gap thing or if it's just a personality thing. She just wants her cheeks clapped, okay? Because she's like, I'm about to explode. And I'm just like, my lord, what is happening? But Teresa encouraged that lady to just go for it. And I'm like, oh my lord, these ladies are cray-cray. Okay, so we move on to Libby and Andrew. They're on the beach, and ladies and gentlemen, we have yet another failed soccer player. He's sharing how bittersweet it is for him to be back in Vancouver and how part of him regrets how fast he gave up his soccer career. He also talks about how his grades were just enough for him to keep playing soccer. He also shared that his dad was disappointed, but his dad never really told him, but he could tell that his father was really disappointed that his soccer career didn't really go anywhere. And yes, if you're wondering, we also got him, we also heard him talking about David Beckham and his wife. So Alex 2.0, that's what it was giving, and I'm just like, oh lord. We get to Logan and Vanessa's apartment. So they're about to have this talk, and when he sits next to her, she's like, come closer. That man don't want to be all up in your face, but she wants him all up in her face, okay? Anyway, she immediately tells him that she feels like he's not attracted to her and they're in the friend zone. He said, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we've been kissing and we've been cuddling, so what else do you want? She said, we've been barely doing that. And I've cuddled more with my best friends. And I couldn't help but feel like it was definitely giving desperate. Because why are you begging this man for some pain? Like, what is happening? Logan said he doesn't want to be physical first because he's trying to build a solid connection with her. But she's now questioning if she picked the wrong guy. Okay, because remember how she was all up on Chris? Yeah. And now she's not getting any action from Logan. So she said she doesn't want to go back to her empty apartment. So Logan, just give her some pain, please. Please, just help her out, please. All right. Now, guys, this is where the episode ended. I need to hear from y'all about this episode. We have a lot to unpack in this episode. So let me know in the comments how you feel about Jorge and Vanelle, and also Vanessa and Logan, because that situation is looking a bit questionable. And remember, I said I really didn't trust Logan. It's definitely starting to show a lot more. So if you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who watches the show. Thank you so much for watching Kay Unscripted, and I'll see you all in the next one.